So with cutting glass, there are a couple of things that you really need to remember. Glass itself, and most of the risk with cutting glass or even handling glass is to your eyes. Always wear safety glasses, because if you've got safety glasses on, piece of glass can't get into your eye, can't do any damage. So I would recommend, if you were going to cut glass, even if you're handling glass, best to wear some protection. Glass itself is actually a frozen liquid. And the way we cut it is, you imagine like it's like a little ice pick going along, going chip, 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 chip. And we make a score mark like a fissure, and then we break that glass along that crack, along that fissure. Now glass itself, it will not cut you if you handle it firmly. And by firmly I mean you don't want to slip with it. Now I'm not wearing gloves here. Sometimes when we're carrying big pieces of glass we wear protective clothing, we wear protective gloves. But the greatest risk from handling a piece of glass is if your hands are sweaty and you just slip, because it's the sliding motion against the edge that will cut you. And certainly if you've left it on a bench and a piece is sticking out from the edge and you walk by, you could cut yourself. The edges are sharp. You can reduce that by using a stone to put an arris around the edge of the glass, which then takes that sharp edge off. But generally speaking, once you've cut the glass and you've put it into a picture frame, you're not going to be able to touch the sharp edges. So anyway, with cutting the glass, I'll pop our Picasso just up there for a sec. With cutting the glass, we use we use a big vertical machine in our business, where we have actually right-angled machine set up where we can score and break the glass on the machine. But we still hand cut a number of pieces. Like if we have to cut ovals or different shapes, we still use a handheld cutter. Now this is a Japanese one, a Toyo. They're a good cutter. Another brand that's very good is Silberschnitt. It's a German brand, but the Toyo cutters are great. You can get these with different types of heads on them. A wide head like this is generally used for straight cutting because it's got a big flat surface, so when you run it along your ruler, you've got something against it. You can get narrow heads which are used for curve cutting. Not that this one can't cut curves, it's just easier with the smaller narrow head. Now first up, I'll just cut a straight piece just to show. I'll use a ruler, but actually I'll show you what we use in the workshop. We have it here. This is a glass square. So this is a big square. It basically is the size of a full sheet piece of glass that we get, because then we're able to square it up, because very important, everything is square. This is made from Bakelite, I think, or a high density plastic, high impact, so that it will always remain square. So I'll just cut a piece off the end here. I haven't made any marks at this stage, we'll just give you a quick demo. Unlike a Stanley knife, with a Stanley knife we had the angle of the blade on a shallow angle. Well, with a glass cutter it's best if it's more vertical, because it's the tip of the cutter, and in this one it's a little wheel, it's not a diamond, this has actually got a tungsten wheel in it. People still do use diamond cutters, and diamonds do cut glass, but generally a diamond cutter would be used by one, say, professional cutter, and they would have that cutter for their life, and usually that cutter will have a certain sweet spot in it. And if you were to use their cutter, you may actually damage the cutter and it may not work again. So glaziers can get quite personal, or you know, they keep their glass cutters to themselves. But anyway, this is a little oil-filled cutter, and it has, the oil comes down through a wick and lubricates the little tungsten wheel. So when you pump on it, the little bit of oil comes out there.